Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. Some of my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. There was so many of you guys who joined the channel all of a sudden. I don't know where all you guys came from, but welcome. On the channel, we talk about nothing more than just what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So if you are here because you think I'm going to tell you what you want to hear, then you are at the wrong channel, unfortunately. But if you are here because you like what we do, or you know what you need to hear, and that's what you need to hear, then you have the right channel. So here, I don't lie to you. I don't tell you what I don't see or anything like that. I just tell you what I see and what I get intuitively. And the cards are never wrong, ever. The cards are never wrong. Only person that is wrong is the interpreter. And that's it, but the energies never lie. The energies never lie. And you can see that along my entire YouTube channel, all the videos that I cover and things like that. Something takes a lot of time to manifest. Something takes time to unfold naturally. On the channel, we cover the infinite possibilities and plausibilities. And because we cover the timeline, that is what the celestial is all about. Is we are all in this bigger web of world. Every video that I do on the channel is a continuation of the bigger and larger story. There's a reason why I do videos in a certain pattern. I don't do things in a certain pattern to essentially make you click it. I'm not here to do clickbait. I don't care about subscriber count. I don't care about money. I don't care about that. I care about the story. I care about giving you the story in a way in which you can understand it. Think of it like an interweb, like a big intergalactic web with everything connected to one larger story. And that is essentially how the universe works. And here on this YouTube channel, we give you the universe at your own palm in an infinite way. Because what's cool about my videos, which I didn't even know until after I started my YouTube channel, was that when you go and rewatch some of my videos, there are hidden Easter eggs in my videos. You might see something, I'll be talking about something, but if you look at the card, they'll also give you another message. There are Easter eggs. Easter eggs are essentially hidden messages within encoded videos. So for example, I was talking about COVID vaccine back in 2021, and lo and behold, it was talking about abortion and how abortion was going to be removed from the Supreme Court. I didn't know that because I was not allowed to see that. Sometimes Spirit talks to you guys directly, but doesn't let me see, because at this point in time, we're not meant to know. But when you go and revisit a video, you see hidden messages that you miss. So I kind of thought that was kind of cool. So if that's something that interests you, you want to rewatch videos, go ahead. I highly encourage you to do so. So this video is going to be really interesting. It's going to be very invasive. And when I say invasive, it's not invasive in a very negative way. It's going to be ingrained. It's going to be knowledgeable. You're going to have a lot of knowledge. You're going to have a lot of wisdom, a lot of understanding. It's going to be a lot of mind-blowing stuff. So it is going to be essentially a trigger, because it's going to break down the way and the perspective on the world in which you see now. And it's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. We're going to be talking about timeline and how 45 messed with it, and what did he do, and how did he do it, and we explain how time works and how it operates and how it all comes together. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, I said I was going to do this yesterday, but yesterday was the wrong time to do it. Today, I just got confirmation randomly on Instagram, and they were like saying, you have to do it. They are ready. The people are ready to hear it. And all of a sudden, so many of you guys are like, Chris, I think you need to talk about it. And I think you're right. I've been contemplating the idea of talking about it for years. And I mentioned it a few times on the channel, but I never really touched upon it because you guys were not ready to hear it. Today, this video is where you are ready to hear it. So don't ever be in a state of fear. Don't be in a state of worry. Just be prepared. Because remember, this is bigger than us. This is bigger than 45. 45 is not your world. He's not your world. And I asked the guys to shift us into a positive, better timeline. So if that is something you are manifesting, we are shifted into a better timeline. And I will show you how the world works. I'm going to tell you right now, but I gotta be very careful, because some of the information I do say will be top level clearance information. So I asked my guys to make sure I'm not revealing information where people can use the information to manipulate time, just like I did we're going to talk today. So a lot of information to get through today, a lot of information. I apologize, the intro is a little longer than anticipated. Oh, it's actually only 4 minutes. But anyway, besides the point, I want to say thank you all for your love, support, comment, engagement. Keep it up. I really appreciate you. I'm going to comment as soon as I can. When I do have some time, I like to sit down and just answer each one of you individually. But in the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. The more you engage with the content, whether you're watching the video along, whether you're liking it, whether you're subscribing, whatever formality in which you're doing it in, and you're engaging, you're telling the algorithm, hey, I like his content, show me more of it. But you also, at the same time, you're telling the algorithm, hey, I like psychic tarot card readers, show me other psychic tarot card readers as well, plus astrologers. So it helps you with the algorithm as well. So there's a lot of benefits to doing that. Comment if you can. If you want to be notified when I do post and upload, go into the description below and follow my Blue Sky account and my Facebook group. You there will be able to get notified by me personally instead of depending on YouTube, which, by the way, has not been so great on notification. The same regard to those who or to go commenting. A lot of your comments have been gone out of the blue. I can't find it, can't access it. So if you're wondering why I don't respond to you, that is why. So use Blue Sky and Facebook to your advantage, whatever one or whatever your preference is. Without further ado, we are going to begin. So Spirit, how shall we begin here? Well, first thing is let me tell you what day I'm recording this on, because that's important. I don't know how I forgot that. Okay, so today is Friday, January 24th, 2025. At 1:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ironically enough, it is January the 1st, and today is the 24th, so that was not planned, but just happened to be the time in which I am telling you the time. But anyway, besides the point, there's a lot of information that we need to cover today. So if you have questions or you have anything, talk to each other, communicate with each other. You know, I will try my best to answer you, but communicate with each other. Have a constructive dialogue about what we talked about in today's video. Because I feel like there's a lot of bounded information. I mean, we all come from different timelines, which means that all of us have different truths and different understanding. Something I may say may not resonate with you, and that's okay. Because you, in essence, have your own truth. Honor that. Listen to that. Don't listen to me. Listen to you. Trust your intuition. We all come from different timelines. So with that being said, I think the best way that we are going to do this is for me to explain how time works. And then we go from there. Okay, so let's see. And yes, I bought my little handy dandy whiteboard, because I normally have a whiteboard in the basement, a really big one, where I do my studio, but I don't have access to the studio, so we're doing it on this little thing. So here's the whiteboard, nice and cute, right? And here's the little pen. So this is our natural timeline here, right? You see that is straight, well, kind of straight. The best way I can draw a straight line with holding it. But this is our timeline. This is the original timeline when the United States was formatted. However, now hear me out here. This is time. This is when you died. So you died here. So let me just put this here. So this is when you died, right? But here is when you were born. So when you were born, when you're born, when you died. Everything in between is your story. Everything in between is your story. This is the current present. Now, think about it this way. This side here is your birth side. So look at this corner here. It's the birth side. This is your death side, right? This is where you died. Now, the story is in the center in between the two corners, right? Now, when I turn it this way, this is how Spirit sees time. All happen at the same time. Now, with that being said, time can be manipulated because everything is and will is occurring at the same time. So, for example, to better give you a better understanding about everything in our world, let's take a look at this. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. So we have. Oh, I didn't spell that right. Okay. And we'll put the USA here. Okay, look. So here we have the dinosaurs, right? This is when the dinosaurs died out. This is the United States now. This is our current moment. Dinosaurs are currently alive still, in essence, in terms of time, because there's no such thing as time. Time is man-made. We made it this way to be able to understand and be able to have the ability to grasp time and understanding of sequence and certain time, but time does not really exist in essence. Which means that when you think about it in this different terminology here, you start to think about the dinosaurs and the United States, you start to realize that life does and cannot exist. And I'll tell you why. So going back to what we just talked about, being born and being dead, right? And the story being in between the two, your story. So this is how when you die, this is when you're born. But what's interesting is this is happening at the same exact time. So you were born here, you died here, but your story is in the center. But this also means that you were born, you existed, you died, and you never existed. All at the same time. So, with that being said, you're wondering now, how does your intuition work? Your intuition works because you live many lives. Your deja vu that you experience in life is because you, in essence, when it comes to deja vu, is all about your inner workings. Because you lived that experience before. We lived every timeline. We lived as president. We lived as the king. We lived as the queen. We lived as the peasant. We lived as a slave. Whatever it is, we lived every single plausibility and possibility. Because everything and anything is happening at the same time. But there is one story that remains true, and that is you in this moment. You in this moment, the reason why you can make choices and make decisions and how the tarot cards work and operate. They work on energy and frequencies. How does the cards know and how do they operate? The cards operate on one simple thing, frequency and energy. Because you already in another timeline did that option. You chose that option. You did that timeline. And so the cards are temporarily tapping into that frequency, tapping into that timeline, giving you the plausible outcome to, hey, if you go this route, this is the likely outcome as it things currently stand today. But if other choices and other decisions were made, then the outcome and everything starts to shift and change. Same thing. Because as you start to make different choices, let's say you decided, you wanted to either drive a car or you wanted to cook dinner at home, or you can go out and eat. So just say you decide to go out and eat here. Now you just made it off-brand because in the original timeline, maybe you went out for dinner. You went out to eat. But here you went to stay home and you decided to make dinner at home, creating a different blip. Every outcome, every choice that you make creates a different timeline. But this main timeline, this main branch here, remains intact. Because this main timeline here is your soul path. But every version of you from the same person, so for example, everything I said applies, but also you as an individual. So take me, for example. Let's take me. Put me in the center here. I'm on this one main line. This is my lifetime here. But there are many different versions of me currently. Not like me as a king or whatever. No, not that. But me right now, just making different minor choices and where that goes. So as you start to develop and you start to go towards the story, just say you pass this, now you go to another blip and you make another decision. By this new pathway that you just entered into, you just shift it. You keep shifting it up and down and going down. This is known as your intuition. Your intuition is guided by different decisions that you make. Because in another lifetime, you made every decision, you made every choice. Some decisions actually kills you, some decisions actually help you, some made you rich, some made you poor. But your intuition is strong because you lived it. Your intuition is determined by that. It's determined by because you did it before. Deja vu is the same thing as intuition, with the minor exception that you've been there before because you lived a life before, because you had a blimp here. So for example, let me get a different color to kind of show you what I'm trying to talk about here, because in order for you to understand the larger story that we're telling you, I don't know why this thing won't go back in, try to get you a better way to understand it all, because in order for you to understand the main point of today's video, we need to be able to tell you exactly what is going on. So, here we have this new timeline here. This is the new timeline. We have the line going kind of straight, kind of straight. Okay, so this is our timeline, right? This is the one timeline. You live, the red color is the timeline, just say you are king. Just say that this is the king version. The red color is the king timeline. The black timeline is you now. Okay? Ooh, that's actually made a straight line. Okay? Now, as you start to grow and make decisions, and your intuition starts to overlap with version of you from a different timeline, right? They start to look like branches, right? They go in different ways in different ways. Now you have the main timeline doing the same exact thing, and you start to see points, right? You start to see points. So the red timeline is you living an entirely different life as an entirely different human being. But the black is the timeline of this timeline. You, the you now, the you as a soul now. Which means that at certain points you start to overlap here. You start to overlap here and you start to overlap here, which means that in those two times you had deja vu. Because you, in some capacity, you joined in a temporary sequence where you have an overlap of memory. This also applies to lucid dreams, and it also applies to how you have memories of different things like the Mandela effects. Things overlap, timeline overlapped. So, what did Trump do? Well, I will tell you what he did. What Trump did instead, and this is why he's going to get in trouble. We're going to talk about all this in the video today. But this is what Trump did. This is our timeline. Right? This is what he did instead. He erased the main timeline. He went like this. Entirely off chart. Here was where he cut off. He said, no, we're taking a different path. This was the way that we were supposed to go. We were supposed to go straight. And instead, he took us onto a massive detour. This was not a collective decision. This was a decision made on his behalf. That's a problem. Because this entire timeline in which we were supposed to go on to had essentially been erased. Has been erased. This is now our new timeline. This is our new timeline. This is what Trump did. He changed the timeline. That's a problem because he is going to get in trouble. And how do I know that? Because I said it in many videos that I did. And I talked about how he used black magic and the occult and how the spell was cast and how people were addicted to him and how they just couldn't break the spell because he was using stuff. But we're not going to talk about dark magic here. We're going to talk about how he was able to manipulate time. Now, a lot of you guys remember that I've done a lot of my psychic challenge and my books. When I read you information, I want you to listen closely to how he did it. And I will read it to you. How did he manipulate time? And we're going to talk about all this today. So this one was recorded on December 17th, 2024 at 11:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, yes, that is my handwriting. And this is called The Truth of Death. Beyond the veil lies a story once told, death forgotten. A truth death forgotten by time. Man knew the truth about death for centuries, but gaslighted their own kind into believing something else. Death is not the end, but the start of a new. A world so similar, yet so different. Life after death does not end, but rather starts. A portal of time can be adjusted here. It's where your manifestation intuition came from. For that you have lived it already. You cannot die, for that you already dead. You can only simply become reanimated and live once again. For that, be not afraid, for that you have lived every outcome. You can only gain more knowledge after death, beholding wisdom. No one waits for you after passing, as they themselves have a path to lead. Do not call upon the dead, for that you've been awoken evil. The person you are seeking is no longer anymore. They are not the same since death, because they are the mere essence of an empty vessel. Seek guidance from you, and only you. Till death do you part. May you live a fruitful one. We are on the very creation of Egypt. Well, we are the very creation of Egypt. Our story is not over, but begun. Ra represents all that is and will be. Truth will be revealed how the rich got wealthy off of death. A portal, if you will, to the past through death if you can seek it. There is no such thing as good or evil, just human thought. You cannot be punished for that you've lived all lives from ruler to beggar to killer. No such thing as evil, just purpose. God does not choose your fate. You do. You are your harshest critic. Be kind or else you will suffer. Dream big so that others don't do it for you. You can and will survive. I know you can. Just believe that you are in control for once, not me, and all will be seen. December 17th, 2024 at 11:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the message for you guys. That is the message. And this book is known, well, it's called the Universe. That is what this book is called. This was made by me. Why is this interesting? Because it talks about how there's a portal when you die, and there's an ability and understanding that time can be manipulated and changed in any way that you can do it. Now, let me explain to you in a way in which you can understand. Humans, when they die, 7 minutes play in their head. In those 7 minutes, you can create any world, any fantasy that you can imagine. And in that world, you can import things, you can manifest things, because you can just say you didn't have a cake for your birthday one year. Now you can manifest a cake for your birthday. You can heal the part of you while you're dying. Because in essence, you have full control. Like I said before, you were born, you died, and here's your story, but you never existed. But yet you existed. Because manifestation is in your hand. You can control them because you were dead, but also alive. You were in the present, but you were never alive. I know it's mind-boggling for the human mind to really understand and grapple with the idea and understanding that you may not actually be alive, but you also are very lucky to be alive at the same time. Manifestation is the power of the mind. The mind can create anything because you are dead. So therefore, because you are dead, you can create anything. Your world, your simulation is only in your head. It's only in your head. That is why. So you're asking, how did Trump mess this up? Well, Trump in essence used the death portal. He used death as a means to manipulate time. He used it. Now, all you guys remember my recent video talking about how Trump was seeing a younger version of him, like a 2016 Trump meeting his younger Trump. Oh, hold on. The Trump now meeting the Trump of 2015 or 2016 and giving him information on how to do certain things. How did Trump do it? I said that he was looking at some sort of mirror or some sort of water or some sort of portal. Now we just realized how he did it. He did it through death. Which means that Donald Trump at some point in time from around 2016, 2015, he had a near-death experience, or he actually died, or he tried to die, or he did some astral projection, or he did some sort of severe out-of-body experience where he just wasn't in his body for a period of time, whether that may be for a couple of hours, might be just for a couple of minutes. His body was registered as dead, theoretically, or brain death. But once the body resumed back, he was once again reanimated, realive. Now, to further hold on this information here, we have this new book. And this book is the second book that I wrote in. And this is a very gorgeous book, one of my most favorite coloration of the book. It's gorgeous in the essence. But when I channel messages. And this book is called The Power of Writing. But this psychic challenge, it was recorded on December 22nd, 2024 at 12:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's considered the life of the world. Hold the world in your palm, for that you will experience all that will ever be. Have confidence in knowing peace will prevail when all is said and done. The truth of the world will never be found by those you follow, but instead from those you least expected. Whereas some of you will find it in yourself. For that I've given you everything you needed to succeed. Life is not about trust, but rather about truth. If only you can harness it, and when you do, you will be set free. We all came here to serve a purpose. We all came from different timelines to be here, in a similar fashion to your likes of NATO. To share our truth and in that to find our own very truth. There is never right and wrong, but instead truth versus valor, truth versus evil, truth versus truth, and most importantly, truth versus oneself. Have faith in you so that others may do so too. Joy shall reign as long as you choose to believe. So believe, I know you can. And this was ended at 12 this was ended at December, back up, ended 12:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on December 22nd, 2024. So that is the second channel in there. But this is important because it's talked about now how all of us came to be from many different timelines, and all of us have our own truth, our own understanding, our own perspective on the world. You know how I've been saying for quite some time now that you guys need to hone on to your truth, listen to only anyone but you, listen to what you believe, listen to your gut. This is telling you here that we all come from different timelines. What might be true for me might be different for you, and that is okay. And if you see a different outcome, and you truly believe and you know it's true, believe that. Don't believe what I'm telling you, because that is my timeline. You believe your timeline. I'm here to help you figure out who your timeline is, to help you find your inner truth. But truth lies within and only within you. Right? This is our life of the world as we know it and how we came to be. Now, there is another second channel in here which I did not realize I did. But this is a beautiful one. I think you're going to like it. It's called In the Face of Love. And this was recorded on January 9th, 2025. And it started at 2:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to read it to you. Kindness graced the planet in a way not yet imagined, a view not yet foretold, a life, if you will, of kindness that shall be instilled. Joy and prosperity shall reign, for that the age of hope has come. Because in the face of adversity, we manage to find truth and valor in all things that can and will be. A life yet to be beholden by those who seek the fifth dimensional realm. May you not forget the experience here on earth, or else you will be doomed to repeat it in your new reality. You will soon find yourself back where you started if you choose to not heed the warning. Peace shall swallow those who consume them. Prosperity cannot be found by those with riches, but rather by those who have nothing but rich experience. For that you can take, you can't take any. Hold on. For that you can take anything with you. But money is only of the physical. Okay, excuse me. For that you can take anything with you, but money is only of the physical. Appreciate the world around you for that you've created it in your own likeness and image, for that peace may reign in your heart forever. However, joy. Yeah, okay. However, may you choose to love without fail. The timeline jump has already started, and you are already late. Better than never, some of you to like to stay, and I suppose that to be true. We've been expecting you. Welcome home. Excitement is upon us. Hope stands by us in guard, while serenity tranquilizes all that can and will ever be. Manifest now so that you can reap the world around you that you so seek. So that you can reap the world around you. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so manifest now so that you can reap the world around you that you so seek. A woman will come to grace the land of which you call home. A scent of I don't even know. A sense of boundless serenity. May you choose to portal jump, for that is what is best for you. Are you ready to die so you yourself can and will be reborn in the timeline that you so seek? May you understand the complexity of said worlds so that pure happiness may grace the land, as does your face. Peace will come when you call. You cannot you cannot expect to be reborn after a minification if you choose to take it. You can come back to help in the spiritual world or that of the physical. We leave that up to you. Transition so that we can meet you. We are expecting you. And this is the end of the channel of January the 9th, 2025 at 2:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know I stuttered in this one. I don't know why, so I do apologize because some of my reading, I could tell, it's kind of a little bit blotchy because of the ink. But This was a really important one because it's a very beautiful psychic channel. It's a very beautiful channel. It talks about how, death is a rebirth, a transition to the timeline in which you seek. Sometimes, in order to change timelines, you need to die in a certain timeline to enter the new timeline. Awareness, right? Because the way it works, and I'm going to explain it here, you could be born here, you can die here, right? We know that already. We know this is the story. But let's take a look at the timeline once again. This time I'm going to use orange to give you a little bit of a guide. So here is the timeline, right? But you just died here. But there is another timeline. Now you enter into this timeline here. And this is your cross point. This period right here is the cross point. And by having that cross point, even though you died in this original timeline where you were consciously aware, you were not consciously aware here. You were just living as a regular body form until it crosses, and then you take on the consciousness of this new timeline. So that is essentially how that works, in case it makes it a little easier. It also talked about how you need to appreciate the world around you, that you can take everything with you, with the exception of money. And money is man-made, but everything else is not really man-made. So that includes, but not limited to, your cats, your dogs, stuff like that. You can take that with you into the next timeline, into whatever that may be. We talked about the fifth dimension, talked about kindness, love, and joy, and happiness. We talked about the complexion of the world and how the timeline jump had already started, which is true because the timeline jump had just begun today. If you had not been aware of it, because we do have the, we have the Aquarius moon coming in. I think the Aquarius moon was yesterday, so it's been major changes, major timeline jumps, which I was not aware of being, but that is something that has happened. We talk about NATO and how all of us come from different timelines and that, all of us have our own truth. And it's okay to not really know your truth or to know it yet, but you can find it, and you find it within you. And that's why I tell you to engage within you. But there's a lot more to us than that meets the eye. So, and here is my next one. And this is the last one, I promise. But this one is also really interesting as well. This is called Journey to the Center, The Revival of a Kinkling, Volume 3. Now, that's what they told me. I do not have a Volume 1, or I don't have a Volume 2. So I don't know why it's a Volume 3, but we'll find out eventually. So, we have this psychic channeling. And this one was interesting. Remember the first one, I said be not afraid as one of the key words here? Well, now, ironically enough, I realized it because this is all channeled. This is not done on purpose. It was all psychically channeled. This was channeled on January 20th, 2025, when Trump took the office. Here we have be not afraid. I'm going to read it to you. And this was channeled at 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be not afraid that Trump has won for all for naught. For that is the people election, not his. He chose to take for which is not his, and for that he suffered. This era is about the people, and he will learn very quickly not to piss them off. For that he will. His ambition is greater than his action. For that he will fail and piss off the people. For that they will personally see fit to extort him out. For that he doesn't belong. He took it from a woman, and he is about to learn why. You think he will get away, for that we say he will not. For that his luck has just ran out. He will suffer per the price. He is to obey the people or fail. And oh, that oligarchy that you are aware of will not last. For that I have made it my mission to fill it up with men who have their heads so far up they can't see the poop pushing them out. I don't know why they use that terminology, but we'll keep it. Don't you think that we've forgotten about you? Because we haven't. Life is no longer on Donald Trump's side anymore after today. And here is the two last pages. He cannot run. He cannot hide. For that we made him visible to the naked eye. Open them wide, we are talking to you. Trump was inaugurated today to expose him. For that his people who thought he was the hero will soon learn that he isn't the case. He will once again betray the American people, not new news. But it's how he does it that pisses people off. This country will struggle for quite some time. With that, the people have forgotten how bad he was in 2020. This time, we've given you 4 more years to remember. For that, you've forgotten. Now remember, it could take about 1 month all the way to 4 years. Okay? But for 4 years, they're talking about the term, but it could be as early as 1 month to 4 years. Okay? And be not afraid, for that I will not let him touch and hurt you. Note this is not a battle of the physical, but rather that of the metaphysical, between light and dark. Trump is not to cross a certain barrier, else he is done, and we mean done. He is on strict orders to follow his life path of sole purpose or else. He is a rebel of all of nature. This timeline, like many others, are seeing him cause major problems. So basically what he's saying here is that Trump is causing not problems only in our timeline, but in every single timeline, which means he has been doing something that has manipulated time in a way in which he is considered problematic or a terrorist in the eyes of all timelines. Okay, this timeline, like many others, are seeing him cause major problems. Yours is not alone. Understand this, he is not immune. He is just lucky, but like I said, it has just run out. For that, many of you will ask, why couldn't they have done it sooner? It's because he followed his sole purpose. However, he played with time, causing ripple effect everywhere. He is guilty with treason of time. We are, on the quote-unquote impossible. So that is like, I'll explain what it is in a second. A time stopper group to stop the abuse of time. He is the number 41 threat lister. For those of you guys who asked, I know you guys asked me, Stephen Hawking is 39. Okay. We work very closely with the divine to protect time. Make no mistake, this wasn't supposed to happen. But they managed to do something not yet known to man, and the abuse of that knowledge for 4 years of power, which is pathetic in itself. So they're saying that the knowledge is worth more than 4 years of the presidency, but yet they used it just for temporary power and control. And they're saying that's pathetic. Therefore, we decided to make his time in office hell. Take pleasure knowing you can enjoy his suffering, but that he did not want to become president. LOL. He will learn not to mess with us and our people. He will cause temporary destruction in the United States, but it will backfire 10 times more on him. There is more for us to say at this time, but we will save it for the next time. So enjoy the ride. Soon she'll be your guy. The end of channeling 11:23 Eastern Standard Time on January 20th, 2025. Okay, you can see all that. So that is the channel. And you probably asked, well, Chris, what does this have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with anything. It talks about how Trump manipulated time and how they're going to be punishing him, and that we just have to be on standby just to watch it all unfold. Watch the karma unfold. Because we're talking about here is that Trump, in essence, is, he caused major problems, and they're going to try and fix it. And we'll talk about that in the cards today, and I'll show you. The cards will say it, and you will see as they act the cards now. The cards are going to explain it, but I kind of wanted to give you an understanding to help you grapple with your mind of what it is that I'm talking about and why I'm even talking about this to begin with. So, let's do this. Spirit Angel, are we ready? You're ready? Okay. But before we do, okay, I asked you guys today to allow us to shift into a better timeline. One filled with love, happiness, and joy. Allow us to transition ourselves into a better timeline, a better frequency, a better understanding of the world around us. Fill us with hope, joy, and peaceful and happiness, tranquility and knowledge and understanding. Please allow us to read what it is about the timeline, but as we do so, protect us from those who wish to do the dark arts and harm us. Surround us with nothing but pure light and understanding of who we are at the very core. Surround us with that love. Surround us with that blanket of happiness and light. Give us the knowledge and wisdom to be able to portray the information to my people and to protect each other from those who wish to do us harm. I ask you guys to allow us to transition us into a better timeline. The one I wish is our positivity, hope, tranquility, and joy. Transition us to our desired timeline. What you manifest now is what this timeline you will get. So for those of you guys who just saw something in your third eye or is imagining something, that is the timeline in which you were going to shift to. And if you don't like that entire timeline or that you just saw, just re-listen to that little part again and you'll be able to shift into your desired timeline. Okay. I see mine, Trump being dragged away. So, that's mine. But anyway, besides the point, it's all for your preference. Remember, know your truth, know your inner worth, know your information. Because listen, we all come from different timelines. What might be true for me might be different for you, and that's okay. We're all in this together, you're not alone. Okay, so let's talk about Trump and time. So Spirits and Angels tell me that Donald Trump, the 45, did he manipulate time? Did Donald Trump manipulate time? Okay, they told me to flip the card. Did Donald Trump manipulate time? Okay. Did Donald Trump manipulate time? Final outcome card. Did Donald Trump manipulate the timeline? Did he change and alter the timeline? Okay, we have the word stop here. So I'm going to put that on this side. No, actually, I'll put that on the horizon. Okay? And this card comes here. I don't know what that card is, but that's a card. Okay? Give me the one that represents the bottom part. Did Donald Trump manipulate time? Okay? 3 more cards, Spirits and Angels tell me. 3 more cards. This is a weird one, but I think it's very informative, so I hope you guys do like this video. Is this correct? Is this correct? Is this correct? Yeah. Is this correct? Yeah. Now where does this go? Okay, can I put a card here? Okay, they tell me the bottom. Okay. And what is the top of the deck? We have Bonjour, many different places, many different things, and we have money. Or money in the cloud, which is 45. Okay. I made this card, by the way. Alright, so let's talk. So we have, and we're talking about the energies and the frequencies of the world around us. Right? We're talking about an accident. Did 45 mess with time? Did he mess with the timeline? We're about to get the answer that we're asking. So here we have money. Interesting, because this is the 6 of Pentacles upright. What are they doing? Money. So I have to do something with money in regards here. So there's money. Right, the 6 of Pentacles. Followed by the Knight of Pentacles means slowness. But where is this pentacle looking? It's looking in the direction of money. Again, the pentacle is facing towards money. Why is this interesting? Because normally when this card is upright, this indicates slowness, thinking about conjuring, right? This is what that means for me. But when it's reversed, it means high speed. Time, when you go through portal, is high speed, right? The Justice card is reversed here as well. The scale of justice, not doing the right thing. Justice is reversed. What is interesting here, because we have the scale of justice, and it's still being ignored here and also being ignored here, which means the laws of the universe were totally disregarded. The laws of the universe were disregarded. Here we have the 10 of Cups reversed, which is a very good card in hindsight. But this is alternate time. These are people coming together. You ever seen like this wonderful, beautiful picture, and then you start to see like a timeline start to shift, or they start to slowly erase themselves from the memory because they never existed? It's like that. That's why the card is here, because it's saying erasing here. This Ten of Cups is indicating erase, remove, deplete, gone, done. Now let's take a look under here. We have 2 males here. We know who these 2 males are, right? We have the government. Oh, the government could be involved in this. We have Happy New Year. Okay. Change. We have a female reverse. We have on this side we have pool. The challenge card is balance. Imbalance. Something's imbalanced here. What is the bottom of the deck for this card? We have betrayal. At the top of the card we have the world reverse. Yeah, I would say he did it. I would say he did it because here we have the ten of swords, the three of swords. He betrayed the order of things. He betrayed the natural order of the universe. We have the world's card reversed. The world is upside down. For those of you guys who feel like the world is upside down, it is because it's all timelines fighting for dominance. And here you have opportunity. I definitely think he does something. He definitely does something because there's a loss here, but there's two other timelines that he did not touch yet. But I would definitely say for starting, he looks like he did. Because we have the money here, followed by two males, with the government, with Happy New Year, woman in reverse. We have the pool card, which is the pool of evidence. We have the imbalance, with the horizon being crossed by the stop, not knowing when to stop. We have the justice in reverse here. We have high speed. We have money and greed. We also have erasure, and we have luck. And then we have socks, right? Things going up and up and up and up. Which makes sense because remember I said high speed, right? Things are changing at a rapid pace. So we're acting. Does Donald Trump manipulate time? Yes. And it had to involve money. And it also involved the government in some way. The government, in some capacity, is involved in this. Again, everything in this video is just for entertainment purposes only, and for alleged purposes only. Everything I do and say is just for entertainment purposes only. But the government is involved in this in some way. Maybe it's a government project, maybe sold documents. It makes sense though because Nikola Tesla. Well, I made a very good point. Donald Trump is the nephew of John Trump. John Trump was a scientist who I believe, if I'm correct, worked with Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, when he died or was killed, I think he was killed, but his documents were taken before the FBI was there, which means the documents went missing. The document went missing. In those documents, there was supposed to be a reveal that he was working on a possibility of a time machine. Donald Trump now works with a guy named Elon Musk who owned Tesla. You see the ironies there? Not to mention, Donald Trump, when you read some of his books from the past before he ran for president, he knew things that he shouldn't have known, including but not limited knowing who did the 9/11 attack and even put their name in his book. He knew exactly who they were going to be. And then we have Barron Trump. If you guys recall the book Barron Trump's Underground Journey, it talks about Russia. It talks about Barron Trump and how Donald Trump is the mentor and Donald Trump lives in Russia. And at this time, it was the 1800s when this book was written, was I believe it was the Russian Federation. So, if that isn't weird enough, we're going to read on Barron Trump in a video because Barron Trump is now 18. And I've been getting some weird vibes from Barron Trump that he is not like the rest of them. But I want to be able to give him the respect and time, but I will be reading on him sometime soon. But going back to the moral of the question here, let's go take a look. What happened and how did Donald Trump do it? Well, I'll explain to you how he did it. Here we have luck. First of all, it was pure luck, but it had to do with money. When you talk about luck being on his side, just pure luck, right? Just happened to have everything fall into his lap in the right timing. Right? The right timing. Everything just seems to play out a little bit too coincidentally. Also aided by money. Aided by money here with the six pentacles means this is about money. In some way, Donald Trump is tied to money. but it also means a transfer of money. Now, money is a physical thing, right? Remember, what did I say about in one of my books that I said money cannot be transferred with you to a different timeline after you die. Which means that money in this aspect is something other than money. Which means this is wisdom, this is knowledge, this is forbidden knowledge. Maybe knowledge that he was not supposed to know, but somehow he accessed it. This is what that card means. Now, how do I know this? I know this because the two males are on top. And the moral is 0. What does this mean? It means two males were actively engaged in the manipulation of time. What's ironic enough, when you go back, I think a few months ago, before the election, if I'm correct, I think you can recorrect me in the group chat if you can, in the comment section below, but the particle accelerator was turned on. Actually, I'm really curious because I would like to know when the particle accelerator was turned on. Let's see, and we'll find out right now. When was the particle accelerator turned on? Okay, so the first time it started up was on September 10th, 2008. I remained the latest addition to CERN's accelerator complex. So, why is this important? Well, this is important because when I got that we were shifting timeline. And this was also the same time in which I received a vision right after Barack Obama's victory in 2008 when I was 8 years old. I received a vision of the United States. Right around that time of the particle accelerator, which I just remembered now, but I'm not going to tell you because I feel like it's going to push you guys in an unnecessary state of fear, which is not needed, so I'm not going to tell you. But we have the stocks here, which means growth. Exponential growth. Right? We talk about being next to money. Something is growing, whether it's knowledge or forbidden knowledge. He was gaining something that he shouldn't have known. Forbidden knowledge, forbidden wisdom, if you will. Here we have this high speed. Something with high speed, going through time really fast and very rapidly. Why is this important? Well, this is important because he had a rapid rise to the presidency. He had a rapid rise to the presidency, to the government. He's the first politician in the United States to not hold political office other than the office of the presidency. A rapid rise. He had a lot of money in his past, and then this is the presidency. This is his rise. It's telling the story now of Donald Trump and how he was able to do it. Here we have the Justice card reversed. He did not follow the scale of time. He did not follow the laws, the proper laws. Here we have Happy New Year. What does Happy New Year mean? Happy New Year is a transition to something new. This is a new shift, a new timeline, new worlds, right? Something was on the horizon, but then something was stopped in its tracks. Something was coming to fruition, then something was stopped all of a sudden. And what was stopped exactly? Well, what was stopped, this is my election card. The election card is reversed, but this is the card that also sees eraser. Something that is erased. Something that's been removed. Who has been erased? The female. We all know who this is. The female. Why is this important and why is this problematic? It's problematic because this card is imbalance. This is who you are as an individual. This is our balance. These are all our chakras. It's sideways, which means that it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge to that. It causes an imbalance, an improper imbalance in the timeline and the frequency. This was supposed to be the age of a woman, but yet the woman was not elected. And here you have the pool of water. So, how did he do it? He did it through a reflection of something. A reflection. He was able to manipulate time through a reflection. Now, I'm not able to tell you exactly what that reflection is because, well, that could be many things, but also certain things that I say here because the government is involved, because the government does have the card here, which tells me that this is classified information, which means that if I tell you the wrong thing, I could end up, in the Ghana, in the dumps. So we have the Energy Oracle card. I was told to bring this card up and only this card, this deck. So we're going to use this deck and see what information comes out of this and how did he do it. So spiritual angel, tell me about 45. How did he manipulate time, and how did he do it, and how did he change the timeline? Okay, we have 49. And who's 49? The 49th president of the United States, the 49th vice president of the United States? That's Harris. She is the 49th vice president. Here's the angel of love. Challenged by a man holding the heart. 45. What the hell? Okay. I'm telling you guys, you can't make this stuff up. You really cannot. Okay. You ready? You ready to see this? Let me show you. I'm mind blown. Okay, so vice president of the United States. Okay, where is the vice president? Okay. Who is the 49th vice president of the United States? Harris. We all know what Donald Trump is. We all know he's 45. I said this was Harris, right? Instantly. Angel of love. What did it cross by? 45. Man holding the heart. What was Harris holding? A heart. What did he do? He stole the heart. What is the heart? It's the beating. The beating. It's the people. It's who we are. It's the soul. What did he steal? He stole the soul. He did something. He sold his soul for something. This is the energy. This is what I'm getting. 49. 45 challenges 49. Okay. How did he do it? How did he do it? Door to romance. The heart is locked. So what is important here? What does this mean? What does 33 mean? Well, 33. Well, hold on. Who's the 33rd president? Okay, so the 33rd vice president is Henry A. Wallace. Was it a Democrat? Was it with what to call it? FDR. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Something just happened. Get rid of the word vice. President of the United States. Okay, list of president. Okay, let's find out who the 33rd president of the United States is. The 33rd president of the United States is Harry S. Truman. 1945. Isn't that when Donald Trump was born in 1945? This is the 33rd president. Why is this interesting? Because the door is open. But what did he do? He took the heart and he locked it up. He locked the door up, but what did he forget to do? What's in that corner right next to the case? It's the key. If somebody accesses this room, the door is open, it's wide open. You can take the key and unlock the heart, and once again, it will be set free. So what did he do? He took a door, a portal. And I said there was water here. The water is evolved here. A reflection of something. Here's the water right on the bottom of this door. Okay. What is the top of the card here? What did he do and how did he do it? Blossoming abundant. Again, water. Look at this reflection. You can't make this stuff up. He used water. He used something that is highly reflective. The number 3. Then here we have caring connection. 14, which is the number 5. Right? He has some sort of connection with the reflection. And what's on the bottom, we have a woman holding a coin. It's 42 reverse. And there's a black cat here, which is a spiritual. That this person is very off-putting. This woman is very off-putting. Let's kind of get this negative, dark energy. Here we have, right after that, we have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, which is blue, 39. 39. I wonder who the 39th president was. That's also important for some reason, because the election of Harry Truman was an upset. We knew that for sure. But who's the 39th? We have Jimmy Carter. Okay, so Jimmy Carter was the 39th president. That's why he came in. Why was Jimmy Carter's death important? Because it signified anxiety. 18. Right, 18. What happened in the year 18? George H.W. Bush died. the senior. What's on the top of the card? We have here walking away. A woman walking away. 27. But what is her future? A door to spirit. 32. Why is that important? We talked about Biden and Harris needing to speak to spirit, and how in order for them to get to where they gotta go, they need to speak to spirit. Why is this important? Because we asked about where is she heading. Look at this door. This door is similar to the same path as this door. This door is the same door as this. Where's Harris heading? She's heading to the door. The door to romance, door to spirit. She's heading to the door. She's about to get her inkling about what she needs to do next. And what will she take? Attachment, right? She will have to reveal herself. Number 5. What was number 5 here before? We have, what was the number 5 card that we talked about here? Connections, right? Caring connections. And this card here is the attachment card, which is number 5. Detach yourself from it. And then when she does that, she will have a happy family. The same thing that was taken from her. But we talked about this before, right? The woman in reverse, right? The woman in reverse here. Well, on imbalance here, right? We talked about this, right? These are the same amount of people, 2 parents and 2 children, right? What do you see here? 2 parents, 2 children. But they're vague, they're transparent, they're translucent. Which means this takes place a little bit after the election or sometime after that. But this is the number 4. 4 is all about creativity. So what will happen after that? We have the temple path. She just got to go toward the spiritual. Once she finds her spiritual path, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. What's the next card? We have here the guardian and the gate. The guardian and the gate. I think she'll be okay. I do. With Donald Trump, how did he do it? He did it by locking up the heart. He locked up the heart by doing the soul. Something with the soul he did, and it locked up the heart. I'm getting drawn back to my love reading again. My love reading. He did something with love. The timeline of love. We never talk about that timeline of love. What if he locked that up so that people can access it, but the spirit is telling you how you can access it? I think it's in this one. I think it's this one if I'm right. No, it's the wrong one. It's the green book. It's my green book that talked about it. Because it tells us exactly how to access this timeline of love. Let's go back to it. I'm trying to find it right now. I apologize, guys. It's called In the Face of Love. How do we access it? The timeline jump has already started and you're already late. Better than never, some of you who like to stay. Okay, so hold on. The timeline jump has already started and you're already late. Better than never, as some of you like to stay. And I suppose that to be true. We've been expecting you. Welcome home. Excitement is upon us. Stand by. Excitement is upon us. Hope stands by us in guard. While serenity tranquilizes all that can and will ever be. Manifest now so that you can reap the world that you so seek. A woman will come to grace the land of which you call home. A sense of voidness, serenity. May you choose the portal jump, for that is what is best for you. So basically, it's manifesting the timeline that you choose to seek. Manifesting the desired timeline, and a woman will come to grace your land. So, that is essentially how you do it. Donald Trump, why did he do what he did? And it gave us the answer how to do it. Manifestation. We have the power to manifest our desired outcome, our desired world. This is interesting. It's interesting nonetheless. But it tells us that we still have the power. We are the Ace of Aquarius. The Ace of Aquarius is about you. You have the power. You get to choose your destiny. You get to choose what you want. If you don't like it, switch to a different timeline. Simple like that. So, with that being said, go and write down something. Write down what you really want in this world. What world you want to live in. And just write and believe it. See it and read it. And after time, you will start to slowly shift into that world, into that timeline. There's a reason why Spirit told me to do this video today. There's a reason for it. Because it's all about manifesting your destiny. Because even though Donald Trump manipulated time, he doesn't have control of time. Because Donald Trump is on the third dimensional dimension. The people who don't do that will be stuck here. But if you can manifest and just believe that you're going to a better timeline and a better world, you will go in that direction. Even if you don't know how to manifest, that's okay. Just believe, just know that things will be okay and that you will be in the right direction. Because remember, Donald Trump is temporary, but us, we're here forever. That's a lot more hope than one can give you. But let me tell you something. Hope cannot be given to you. It's going to be found from within. And only you can find hope. So find hope. Find hope. That's all that we ask. But also understand that the world around us is bigger than what we can imagine, what we can understand. But that doesn't mean that you don't belong. Because you do. You do belong. You belong in this world. And we love you here. But this timeline is unique in itself. And it's saying here that Donald Trump does not have the power that you think he has. Donald Trump may have manipulated time. But that's not the end all be all. You can shift out of it. That's not something he can control. He's getting in trouble. He's going to get his ass beat. But he manipulated time and he's going to get big problems for it. But you can shift out of it because you didn't act for it, so why should you be punished for it? So anyway, I love you guys. Hope this was informative. I know it's a little bit weird of a reading. I know it was very lengthy in terms of reading and all that. And I hope that my explanations were concise and was informative. I hope that you guys do like it. I know it's a little bit different of a video, but this will be part one. I'll do another video another time or go more in depth. And this time we'll do more tarot card reading focus rather than word focus. But I just feel like the words will help you. I feel like it was a message for you guys as well. There's always a message somewhere. It's something. But anyway, guys, until next time, I love you and peace out and have a good night. Peace out, my loves.